Hello there. Today we are going to talk about yet another Web3 project, which is going to be Defabricant. And if you don't live under a rock, I'm pretty sure you already heard something about this project. Maybe not about Defabricant specifically, but about a project they did, or let's call it an NFT collection they launched like a year ago, which is World of Women, a collection that launched like, as I said, a year ago and was pretty successful. But we are not going to talk about World of Women today. We are going to take a look at their next launch, which will be in the mid of February. But before we do that, let me remind you of one important thing, which is that this video is no financial advice and you should, as always, do your own research provided with the links in the description below. Because at the end of the day, I am just a random person talking about stuff that I can see on my screen. And with that said, let's take a look at the project. First of all, as always, their Twitter. And as you can see right here, their whitelist is open and they got this check right here, which means that this is a verified business on Twitter. And for what I know, because I haven't seen this a lot, this is probably pretty hard to get. Because for what I have seen, this is a pretty rare occurrence, especially in the Web3 world. But now, after this pretty long introduction, let's take a look at what the project will do. Defabricant is the world's first digital-only fashion house, which will give you the opportunity to co-create, trade, use it in AR, and also as a metaverse wearable. And as I said before, the whitelist is already open, and if you want to join, I will show you how to do that in a minute. But before we do that, let's take a look at what the project will do exactly. And for that, I have found, let's call it a pitch, which shows that in a pretty good way. Here on the first slide, you can see an example of the animation and what they are planning to maybe get done in the future. Defabricant is a digital-only fashion house, creating clothing that is always digital, never ever physical. Fashion is outdated, overrated, and we are here to change fashion as we know it, which is an ambitious idea because we know fashion as it is, and changing something that is that established is pretty hard, but we are gonna take a look at how they will do that right now. Couture should be free, designs should be altered, co-creation is key, self-expression is birthright, which I would agree on all of those except for the first one because color expensive right now in the real world, because couture is color expensive as we know it right now. But why does Fabricant want to change that? The fashion world needs to change. To continue the way we do now is no longer of this time. We are showing the way forward by creating a new value system for creators and young designers. Our brand lays the future of how the fashion system can operate. From a place of heartfelt values and honest communication, we want to spread that message with the world. Which in my opinion, all of that is great because it's pretty rare to find something like that in our society today. One of the reasons why the project wants to do all of that is the current fashion industry. Because in the fashion industry, things are being taken from other cultures without credit. Young designers get picked up on Instagram and their work gets copied by big brands without even naming them, which is something that ruins lives. We say no, there is another way, which might be Defabricant in the near future. And a quick explanation for their idea is listed right here. We can be inspired by each other again, use origins from different cultures and share our ideas. Connect to each other and co-create collections together from all over the world. Anybody involved will be properly named and credited through the technology that we are building, which in my opinion is the way to go. And not only that, it should be done like that. Because at the end of the day, it's not just stealing, but it can ruin an entire existence or destroy small companies that are working on designs that are stolen by big fashion companies. And now let me show you a short little teaser what the project has in mind. And now, after this teaser, let's jump to their website because I don't want to just look at this pitch and read it out for you, but I will leave the link in the description below if you want to check it out by yourself, which I would highly recommend. The name of the collection, as you can see right here, will be Wholeland. Wholeland is a digital fashion story and visually rich journey of self-discovery that unfolds across 7 chapters. Each chapter includes digital culture, AR wearables, co-creation, fashion shows, metaverse meetups, and airdrops. Because keep in mind that the project had the idea to never ever be physical, just digital. Our collection of digital wearables called XXORIs are your key to the experience. Minting an XXORI allows you to access Holand and go on a journey of fearless self-expression. And in my opinion, self-expression will never be easy, but it's by far easier to do that in a digital way. And if you want to get access, you can just click on the Get Access button and register to the whitelist. Or you just go on the top right corner on their website and click on Sign in which you just need to enter your email address and then confirm by using a 6-digit code, I believe. But let's take a further look at the project. Holand is a place of self-discovery where we meet the beautiful complexity of our multiple selves, expressing our wholeness through digital fashion. Followed by a video story, which is the video I showed you before, but if you want to see it, you can do it right here. And now to the XXORIs collection. The whole collection asks you to forge a connection with the uncomfortable to make space for the unexpected. The XXORIs are the beginning of your journey of self-discovery. And as I said before, the mint date will be in the mid of February with a limited supply of only 3,000 XXORIs. XXORI holders will then get exclusive access to Holand. And one thing that I haven't mentioned, you might already noticed, is the high quality XXORI AR filter, which is something that I can show you right now. So here you can see some examples of the AR filter being used on celebrities or models, which in my opinion most of those look pretty good considering the fact that this is just an AR filter. But let's take a look at the collectibles in itself. So first of all, we got the bullish earrings, next up the dripping glasses, the bloom earrings, snake ears, which in my opinion don't look very comfy. Next up we got the nose chains, followed by the pearl tears, and lastly the bull orizer, if that's how you pronounce that. And as they stated on their site before, they want to connect the uncomfortable with the unexpected, and I'm pretty sure they accomplished that easily. Below that you once more get the opportunity to register for the whitelist, and below that we get some perks you will get for owning XXORIs. So first of all, there will be free airdrops. Next up there will be priority sales in which you get early access and special pricing for fashion drops and can co-create events, and lastly exclusive events. And one thing I probably haven't mentioned yet, which is very important, is the fact that all of these go hand in hand, because you will be able to co-create metaverse wearables which then might get sold, and you as the designer would then get a share of the price, which is the thing that they were comparing with real life, which sadly isn't the case in our society. And now lastly, on the bottom of the page they explain the journey of Holand, because as they stated before, there will be a 7th series chapter. Holand will be introduced as a narrative unfolding over time. First of all we got the XXORIs, which will launch in the mid of February. Next up we got the capers. Cat pieces that mix historic Dutch style with a contemporary clubland aesthetic ready for co-creation. And if this is a real example of how this might look in the future, I have to say that I don't really like bucket hats in general, but all these added things look pretty funny in my opinion. Next up we got the looks. Couture garments that invite you to fearlessly express all that you are. Followed by the secret drops. Groundbreaking collabs with the hottest artists and innovative brands. So we might even look at collaborations between Holand or Fabricant, we'll see that, and big brands in real life. Which is not only good for the value of the project, but it might even change the way big companies are treating small designers. Which is a big problem we stated before. And now let's come to the last thing listed right here, the metaverse experience. An immersive digital fashion world of highly crafted visual storytelling. Which sounds like a great idea, but we will have to see how all of this will come out in the future. And on the bottom of the page, they explain you how to start your journey. Because as always, I would recommend you, as they do right here, to follow them on Twitter and go on their Discord to check out what they are doing and follow them there, because it's easily the best way to stay up to date with each and every project, not only this one. Lastly, before we close up this video, I want to show you the team behind this project, which you can find in the About Us section on the top of the page. Once more explaining what they want to do in the near future in a pretty easy to read and summarized way. So if you want to get a quick look at what the project will do, check it out right here. I couldn't recommend it more. And below that you can find the leadership team. Because if you're interested in this project, it's always a good idea to take a look at the people behind it. And an easy way to do that, you can just take their names and Google them, you probably find an Instagram or their Twitter page, and I'm pretty sure in this case you can even find a LinkedIn page for all of these 5 peeps. The last thing about this project I want to mention is their partners and investors, because as you can see right here, they have a pretty decent list of partners and investors. Below that, on the bottom of the page, you can once more find their Instagram, Discord and Twitter, which even though I said it a couple of seconds or minutes ago, I would encourage you to do that because it's just an easy way to stay up to date with the project. And that sadly brings us to the end of this video, in which I once more want to remind you that this is no financial advice and you should, as always, do your own research with the links provided in the description down below. And with that said, I hope we see each other next time and have a nice rest of your day.